Hey guys, and welcome back to another new Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and in today's video I'm going to be going over 5 updates that we still need to see in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Animal Crossing New Horizons has gotten a lot of good updates and changes this past few months, and it's been really exciting to see. However, there are some things that still aren't in the game that I really think would improve the game so much, so I wanted to compile 5 different things. They're not in any particular order, but I thought it'd be fun to go over 5 things that I could think of that would improve Animal Crossing New Horizons within an update. So if you guys are excited for this video, be sure to leave a like, show your support, and let's get straight into this. Number 1, we have the ability to put rugs outdoors. Now this might seem like a bit of an odd one to you guys, but I actually think this would be really cool, and I'm going to explain why. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game basically all about decorating, and decorating the outside of your island is such an important thing. It's such a massive part of the game. Well, Animal Crossing New Horizons introduced a new type of item, at least with the main series Animal Crossing, which was rugs. Now, there are so many different types of rugs. There are so many really cool ones. There's ones that are like wooden panels. There's ones that typically fit more within a house. There's just so many really neat rugs out there. But the problem is, you can only put these in your house. Unlike most other items, you're not able to put them outdoors at all. Now, it makes sense that you can't put flooring and wallpaper outside, given the fact that, you know, where would it go? Would it cover the whole ground of your game? Of course, it's not going to do that. So that makes sense, but rugs could easily fit into loads of different places in your island, and especially even more so if you could change the size of them to fit certain areas. So I think it'd be really cool if they allowed us to do that, and it would open up so many more customization options. I think a lot of us are tired of our islands kind of feeling very similar to each other, and most islands kind of sharing the same items because New Horizons doesn't have too many, where rugs could honestly change that dynamic so much. You could get some really cool rugs outdoors and make some really cool themed areas. I really think it would help. Of course, you can do this with custom items and patterns, but I don't think it's really the ideal solution. I really think it'd be great to actually put rugs outside. So hopefully that's an update they'll consider in the future. In at number 2, we have the movement of furniture. Now, when it comes to moving furniture within your house, it is so great and convenient. You can push stuff around the traditional way if you'd like to, or you can use the game's new sort of map system in the house and move stuff around with the cursor. Now, this is incredibly helpful, and it makes it so easy to position things exactly how you'd like. However, when it comes to the outdoors, it isn't exactly the same story. Positioning items outdoors can be such a hassle in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Especially if you want to put things on top of tables, you can't really center them. If you want to move items around, it can take such a long time. So I think it'd be really good if they put this guide system outdoors as well, so that you open up the guide and then the immediate area you can move items around. I think this would be really great because it would just allow much more control over our islands. I know some people don't necessarily want that layer of control, but that's the best thing about it. It'd be totally optional. You wouldn't have to use the guide. You could still push stuff around if you wanted to. So I think giving that option of control for players who do want it would be really nice. It's definitely something that would be much appreciated. For me, for example, it'd make it so much easier to decorate my island. Given the fact my island is designed very complicatedly, it's very complex and lots of things are on top of cliffs, and in general it can be really difficult to move those around. So if we had the guide and we could move stuff around freely outdoors, I really think that would help our level of control and the amount that we can actually design and customize our island. It'd be really fantastic in my opinion. In at number 3, we have shop upgrades. Now this one seems a lot bigger than the other two, but that's kind of why I wanted a mix of different ones in this list. I wanted to go for ones that weren't so obvious, but I still felt were really important. And I guess this one is kind of obvious, but I still think it's super important, so I want to go over it. Animal Crossing New Horizons basically only has one type of shop upgrade, unless you count resident services, which does upgrade too. In terms of the shops, we have the Able Sisters and Nook's Cranny, and well, Nook's Cranny only upgrades once, which is basically unheard of. In previous Animal Crossing games, Nook's Cranny would upgrade into a different store entirely. It wouldn't even be called Nook's Cranny when it upgrades. Whereas in New Horizons, you can upgrade the store once, and it goes from Nook's Cranny to a bigger Nook's Cranny. And I think a lot of us are really tired of having this upgraded Nook's Cranny now. The selection is not that great, you tend to see the same items all the time, and it's just a bit frustrating because upgrading the shops gave you a really cool goal to work towards, and the upgraded versions of the shops were so cool. Now I think if they made these into a proper like shopping mall like they do in the other games, they'd have to carefully consider how they style the outside of them, because I know a lot of you guys don't want to see the style of your shop change too drastically, because obviously a lot of our islands are natural and having like a proper shopping mall on our island might feel a bit wrong, but I do think they could do this and work it out for everyone. Maybe they could allow us to choose the style of our upgraded stores. I certainly think that would be really great. Or they could allow us to downgrade if they wanted to, like you could in previous games. So I really hope we get to see upgrades for Nook's Cranny. I think seeing some upgrades for the Able Sisters would be great too. Of course, we do have the resident services and I guess the museum too, which go through upgrades, which is really appreciated. But the fact that Nook's Cranny only has one, when in previous Animal Crossing games it had so many, just seems really odd to me, and definitely a change I think they should make in the near future. In at number 4, we have villager dialogue. Of course, I have to go with this one. I think this one is fairly obvious, but again, I think it's so important for Animal Crossing and an update that so many players have requested. Anytime I make a video about villagers or improvements with Animal Crossing, this is one that I see a lot and I agree wholeheartedly. Animals' dialogue in the game is just not amazing. It's really something they could stand to work on a whole lot. The villagers tend to say the same things over and over again, and although they have added new dialogue with each update, for example, the most recent update with Turkey Day and Toy Day, there's a lot of new dialogue related to those, but from everyday kind of dialogue, they just tend to repeat the same stuff, and I think this is a big problem. The animals feeling like this is really a shame because the animals are what make Animal Crossing special, so to have them feel more robotic, I think is really sad, and we could definitely do with seeing some dialogue upgrades to make these characters feel more alive. That would be really great in my opinion. Finally, at number 5, I have to go over one that I think is so essential. This is the online play for Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is an update we severely need. Now, Nintendo has never really done amazing online in their games, but I will give them credit and say that the online for Animal Crossing typically has been pretty good, especially in Animal Crossing New Leaf. But in Animal Crossing New Horizons, it honestly feels abysmal. Not only do you have to go through a ton of different menus just to get the options you want, with barely any convenience thought into these menus, the options when you actually go online are so limited, there's nothing to do. Animal Crossing New Horizons could have so many fun mini games and updates that could happen online and things that you could only do online, but they choose not to do this for some reason. And it's very strange because you're gonna need to pay for a Nintendo Online membership to do any of the online stuff in this game. So why would they do that, but then not give you any online options really, aside from just messing around with your friends on your or their island? It's such a strange thing to me that they decided to make the online so lackluster when they advertise being able to play online with 8 new players, as one of the big new features. I really don't understand what they were thinking there when they made the online like they have. Not only is it slow and clunky, it just lacks anything fun to do, so why even bother to go through all the menus if you've not got anything to do? I rarely ever find myself visiting other players unless I need to make a trade, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. So I'd love for them to improve the online. There's so much they could do here. Even if they just improved the menus and added some things to do online with your friends, I think it'd be really great and a big improvement. I want you guys to tell me in the comments section down below, what updates do you want to see in Animal Crossing New Horizons? Leave a comment down below with what updates and changes you really think should come to the game. I'd appreciate that very much. If you want to support the channel, click the join button down below the video to become a member of the Bob's Gang. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks for doing so, and it helps my channel out a whole bunch too, so be sure to check that out and check out the link. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for even more Animal Crossing videos. There are 2 more Animal Crossing videos you can check out on the right side, and you can check out my links and my merch in the description as well. So thank you for watching, and catch you in the next video.